Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Pavi, I'm 15 years old, and here is a breakdown of how my entire month of August went, through different projects, an internship ending, and just everything I've been doing and some learnings I've had throughout the month. So join me on what has been happening over the past 31 days. Alright, so first things first, it is September 2nd actually today, and my internship just ended at Walmart Blue Labs. So for those of you who don't know, Walmart Blue Labs is Walmart Canada's innovation incubator. So Walmart is the world's largest retailer. Everybody knows of it. But Walmart just sometimes isn't really known to innovate, and that's what Blue Labs is trying to change, essentially trying to change the future of retail. Now, I had the incredible experience to actually intern there this summer with a few of my friends at TKS, and I got to experience being the ecosystem engagement intern at Blue Labs. Now, I mentioned this in my last newsletter, but unfortunately, today's my last day, and it's just been such an incredible experience. I did some super cool pitches, but I think one of the things that really stuck with me through Blue Labs was the people. Meeting the people were so incredible, and they were so special, and they made the experience go from 0 to 10 in just a few hours, days, and weeks. It was just a compounding effect. Now, I learned a lot about how the entire Blue Labs process went, how they took one project, ignited it. What did they do to actually come up with a possible solution, and how they worked with 3 or 4 different teams to come up with these solutions. Unfortunately, I don't get to see the entire rollout of these projects, but just being able to see that process go through one team to the next, going back a team, iterating, and even just having these meetings and workshops so unique, and I'm definitely going to be using a lot of the knowledge that I've acquired for some of the projects that I'll be working on, which I'll talk to and talk a little bit more about very quickly. But what's great about Blue Labs is it wasn't just all work, but it was such an incredible community. A lot of the time we hear that in companies you want a great culture, you want a great team culture and just company culture. And Blue Labs being a team of roughly 25 people, they have such an incredible culture. And for me, just being there for 6 weeks, I felt like I was a part of that family. And we had incredible time during lunches. We even got the entire team to get Be Real, which is an incredible app. And we even got to go to Toronto Island, and it was just such an incredible experience that I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else. So, Blue Labs crew, if you're watching this, thank you guys so much for this insane experience. It wouldn't have happened anywhere else, and definitely going to be using a lot of the learnings I've had. And stay tuned for some cool things I come out with because all my future projects will be a lot of what I learned here at Blue Labs. Now, the internship was pretty much a majority of how my August went. However, something I did on the side was the Remind podcast. So, Remind is a podcast I have with 2 of my friends where we talk about the world's biggest problems and how people are tackling them, some evolutions that have happened over the past decades and centuries, and just overall how we can use whatever knowledge we have to create awareness about these problems. Now, we came out with 2 different podcast episodes throughout the month of August. One was regarding scaling green tech, and the other one was about inflation. Now, green technology and clean tech is a really big and hot topic right now, especially with climate change and everything happening with the environment. There's so many startups, there's so many solutions to solve climate change or solve an aspect of climate change. But the problem with these is that they aren't scaled. If they aren't scaled, they aren't really making any progress. That's the issue with a lot of these green tech companies. And so me and my friends actually went deep into that as to why they're not scaling. And the companies that have scaled, what have they done differently? So check out that podcast episode below. But the second episode was about inflation. Now, another one of the hot topics recently has been how inflated prices are of grocery items, of houses, of cars, gas, literally anything and everything has gone up so much. So we talk about almost that evolution. How is it affecting Gen Z and the youth? How is it affecting our future? How is it going to affect our kids' futures? And overall, the past and the future of inflation. So you can check out both of those episodes, and a lot more episodes will be coming out in the month of September. So stay tuned. All right, now I feel like it's not Pavi if I don't talk about nanotechnology. So here is a little bit of a nanotech update. So I actually have 2 updates with nanotech, one of them being quantum tanks and another being an expansion in nanotech. So quantum tags was recently discovered by a company in Smart Exchange Limited, which is basically a company in Europe and Australia, and they were super interested in actually implementing that tech within their company. Now, currently it is going a little bit slow because in Europe it's actually a holiday month, which I thought was super interesting. But because of that, business is a little bit slow, and so quantum tags won't really be looked at until the next few weeks in September, when everyone gets settled down. So currently we're seeing if there is a desirability. We're going to be looking with VCs and investors to see if they really want to use this tech. And hopefully I'll be doing a lot more research with a few other nanotech companies as well, which is super exciting. But aside from just quantum tags, I think nanotech has such an incredible application in something like healthcare, which I'm also super interested in. And so I applied to the Foresight Fellowship, which is a fellowship regarding a few different categories of things, like nanotech, computer vision, BCIs, space tech, and a few others. And you essentially it's like a 1 year program where you get to get access to tons of mentors, build your projects, and even for nanotech, they have a Feynman Prize, which is a prize that they give for any really cool cutting edge nanotech research, which I thought was super intriguing because you don't typically see that in the nanotech realm. So I applied to that. We'll see if I get in, and hopefully I can expand my nanotech journey from just anti-counterfeiting and basic healthcare to molecular machines. So I'll update you guys on how that goes in September as well. As you can see, August was a filled month with the internship, quantum tags, and filming out podcasts, and just a lot of this was very different. Now, I am actually heading up into Activate, which is the second year program of TKS, or the Knowledge Society. So I'm an innovator there. I was an innovator last year for the past 10 months, and now I'm heading up into their second year program called Activate, where I'll be an activator. Now, in Activate, I have two main goals as of right now. One is to dive super deep into AI, and the second is access to healthcare. Now, AI is such a broad term, but because I focused a lot within nanotech, I really want to get more hands-on experience with coding. I think AI is the perfect way to do that. So I'm actually going to be challenging myself. Recently, I talked to the founder of TKS, who is Naveed Nathu, and we were talking about projects and just how do you really gain that momentum to work on a project. He said you should grind it out for 30 days. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So with AI, I'm currently going to be starting a 30-day sprint. This is where I'm going to be learning about AI, building AI projects, coding, and just trying to really gain that momentum. And hopefully after that 30-day mark, I'll still continue that momentum and maybe make it a 60-day sprint. So we'll see how that goes, and it's my own personal challenge, so that way I can really speed up with AI and I don't have to go in a super slow process like I did with nanotech. And aside from that, I'm also going to be researching a little bit more into access to healthcare. So I'm super into healthcare, as you may or may not know. And I really want to see how we can bring that healthcare and this medicine evolution happening in first world countries to third world countries, because I think they deserve the same, healthcare system that we do have. But obviously this is a systems thinking approach I have to take. And that's why sometimes dealing with this problem can be a little bit confusing. But if I work on it for the next few months and really understand the problem, I think I'll have a great understanding of the overall situation, and I can create a great solution to it as well. Aside from that, I'll also be researching at the University of Guelph. I'll be continuing my research, really speeding that process up, and hopefully releasing my publication in late September or early October. All right, everyone. So that was my August update. It was an insane month with such incredible experiences that I will know will last a lifetime. And if you want to keep up with more of what I'm doing, I actually have a subscription on MailerLite, which is a platform where I actually release all these videos on. And so if you'd like this to come directly to your inbox every single month, you can just subscribe down below and it'll come right into your inbox. And until next time, I will see you guys with more updates, hopefully on the 30-day sprint, and just more things happening in my life. Talk soon.